I pick up a memory. I thought I lost it long ago. Remember the freshness.
Good morning, Sven.
Good morning.
Q1 reported today, and in a turbulent time, I'm sure many are looking forward to this report. So let's dive right into it and start with the order intake. How would you like to comment it?
Order intake was very good, taking into consideration the turbulence in the market, macroeconomic, also other effects, still war around Europe, etc. We had a very strong order intake. We had, for the first time, 1.5 billion since 4 quarters back, and 2 of the divisions had record order intake, highest ever. So in that respect, we are pleased. Then we still have some headwinds when it comes to large projects, and we can see that in process technology, where they see an hesitancy to sign and take the final decision. This is linked to, of course, that our portion in an investment with PT is relatively small, considering the decision our potential customer has to take in the overall scenario on what investment they should do. And the turbulence around, especially US, has created an ambiguity and a uncertainty, and we've seen it especially in US during the quarter, that they are postponing projects. But we'll see. We are, on the other hand, also seeing that we are coming back and are re-invited to a number of projects because our colleagues in the business have failed to deliver or failed to financially stand up and being able to handle these projects. So despite the fact that we have a continuous decline, we are moving forward and strengthening our position.
So process technology is struggling, but what about service and aftermarket, both in that division and in the others?
All the divisions, or at least the 3 divisions that has a significant service and aftermarket business, are growing. Double-digit in EFT, which is very good. A little bit lower in PT, but they have, over the last few years, had a significant growth in the aftermarket business. What is also interesting, where we basically had a very limited aftermarket, it's still from small numbers, we have in MCT, we are developing an aftermarket. We are connecting with the insight development, IoT solutions, remote service, and all these things. Again, we are not following the future, we are leading the future when it comes to these types of digitalization and using that in aftermarket build-up.
I think that's a good bridge into the sales that was in line with last year. You had a low backlog coming into the year. At the same time, you have acquired Olicem and Durer during 2024. Shouldn't the sales be higher?
Of course it should have been higher. We started the year with a very low or a lower backlog because the order intake in Q4 was a bit slow. We cannot blame the Olicem and the Durer. On the contrary, they have developed very well since they came into the Nederman family. So there has been some slower as I mentioned, due to going into the new year. But it's also been in the quarter very turbulent, where we've had a slow period in February, much better in March, and it continues to be more positive. So all the, I don't know what to say about all the Twitter or now it's called X, coming out every second day of new tariffs, new ideas, new things, also linked to all other things, elections around, so has meant that the order intake and all of that has been a bit of a roller coaster. But boiling down to the essentials, we are taking market share. We are stronger now than we were a year ago. So again, we have to live with the situation as it is. And some famous words coming from the western part of the world, we have to be flexible. And we are flexible, and we are adapting to the situation, and we are doing it rather well.
Talk about acquisitions. You made a new acquisition during the quarter, Euro-Equip.
Yes.
How is that going, and what can we expect from that going forward?
It's very early days, but we are very happy. We are strengthening our position, especially in the Iberian Peninsula, where we now have a strong foothold with PT, or they are focusing on larger installation. They are strong in recycling of aluminium, etc. Foundries. They also have a foothold in South America, which we can use. Language-wise, it's good. And they have 25 years of experience working together with Nederman. So we are strengthening our position, and we are looking forward to what they will deliver for the coming years.
You mentioned tariffs before, and you also mentioned that in the report on each division. Can you elaborate a little bit more on the conclusions you have?
Yeah, conclusions, that's a bit difficult to say, because it's a complete chaos, because it changes every second day. However, we are not so concerned of the tariffs as such. We are more concerned about the uncertainty that it creates around the business world, and especially in US. We can handle, if we look at it, EFT, for instance, have more than 85% US content in most of the product. So taking it from that side, and we can go on and on. We take MCT, we have 2 factories in Europe, 1 in US, but they are not just interchangeable. So we will have, from the US side, we will have some difficulties selling to China. We will have to increase prices from Europe, etc. But we are handling it. What it creates, although what is most important, it creates uncertainty, and that's something that the business community do not like. However, again, we can handle this situation, and as I used to say, never let a good crisis go to waste. We can create a situation where we are even stronger, because we have the capability. We are the only global company. We are the ones that have the digitalization, we have offers, and we have new innovations. So we will handle it.
Clarification or question, you said 85% of ENFTs are American made, but that's for the product in US?
In US.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
You had the grand opening of the new facility in Helsingborg during the quarter. You also invest in many other places around to improve operational efficiency. Why, and what to expect from these investments?
We have seen already from a number of, but we are focusing not only on digitalization, what we talk about, but also the basic manufacturing and logistics, which is very important for us. And we have made significant investments over the years. We inaugurated a new factory for RoboVent in US outside Detroit. We have added production capacity at Thomasville and also then fully automated the warehouse with AGVs, which again makes us be the leader. We are now in Thomasville expanding with new machinery and an upgraded facility for the heavy duty duct, large dimension and so on. And in Helsingborg, of course, that's the one that has been most astonishing. We moved out from, since 75 years plus, a little bit worn out place to a new. We have a new factory, new logistics center, and there will be efficiencies coming out of that. Then, above all, we got an innovation center where we can now do testing in-house, testing that we sometimes couldn't do and sometimes had to go outside to certain other specialty communities to do that. We are now fully loading this innovation center. More interest internally than expected actually, and we see long-term tests going on with AFS equipment. It came in from Boston a few weeks ago, and they will continue a few months here now to further create the test that is needed for European authorization, etc., etc.
Very exciting, and you mentioned highlight in various contexts and reports and so forth. So to conclude this, some highlights, some challenges in the quarter. What about the rest of the year?
Well, of course, it's going to be an interesting year when it comes to the turbulence. But we are standing strong. We have new facilities, more efficient. We are launching more new products, both when it comes to the inside digitalization, as well as upgrades and new innovations in more traditional filter capturing and measuring. And we will integrate our acquisitions, and we most likely will do some more to increase our family. And by that I would say we are standing strong in a very turbulent period, and we will come out stronger when the year ends.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's sing for the good one.